cardboard, dirt, and grass. So that's what comes out in his poop. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to do a video all about Arthur. He's a happy boy. Okay, so all about Arthur. I don't really remember if he was crawling properly in this last video. I did a 6-month update for him, but he's definitely crawling now. So it was about 6 months, so I might have actually mentioned that. So he's still crawling really well. But now he's also walking. So he started walking about 9 months. He did his first steps, and now he kind of half crawls, half walks. But he's so cute. He's really good at it. And he also is able to stand up on his own. So that was only a couple weeks ago that he started doing that. But I just kind of noticed that, yeah, he's really developing and getting all these new skills. It's so cute. In the last couple of weeks, I've noticed particularly that he's starting to talk a lot more. So he just kind of, obviously doesn't say words, like he says mama, dada, because like, you know, it's easy. Every now and then I think he kind of says boob, like when he wants to feed, he kind of seems to say it. I don't know, maybe I'm just imagining it, but he's really talkative recently over the last couple of weeks, which is really cute to see. He's like learning his vocabulary. He also likes to make squealing sounds, so he's definitely working on his voice box and kind of seeing what he can do with it. So it's really kind of cute to see all that happening. Teeth. So I don't remember how many teeth he had in the 6 months update, but he hasn't actually, I don't think he's gotten any more. He hasn't, for the last couple months, 2 or 3 months, he hasn't gotten any more teeth. He's got 4 up the top and 4 down the bottom. So, have you got 4 up top? Yeah, yeah. And yeah, so he's seems to be pretty on this baseline of teeth. He's not interested in getting any more, which is fine with me. He's in concerning with feeding and having teeth, he's actually pretty good. So the only time that he might ever like bite down while he's feeding is when he falls asleep, and that's only because his tongue slips back into like the bottom of his mouth and he's not kind of sucking anymore, so his teeth can come out. But it's okay. I've managed a few tricks to get it off without too much pain. Food. So a lot of babies by now will be very interested in solid food and will be eating a lot of solid food. And Walter at this age was eating a lot of food. He started before he was 6 months and he just was like, I'm not stopping, Mom. He was full head. But Arthur is very different. He, till about 9-ish months, he didn't show any interest in wanting to eat food, touch it, taste it. He didn't care. And I wasn't concerned at all. I've actually kind of decided that I didn't want him to eat food unless he showed like a proper interest. I wasn't going to get him to eat food until he was 12 months old. And that is because, well, one, we eat a lot of grains in this household, and they don't have the proper enzyme in their gut to break down grains until they're between 12 and 13 months. There's so many drugs. So I was going to wait for that as well. But I also know that there's just so much information and misinformation kind of concerning a baby's gut and when it's ready to eat solid food and when it's not ready to eat solid food. Some babies, you know, may be ready more closer to 6 months. I would never feed a baby apart from Walter, who knew Mum. I regret that mistake of feeding him before 6 months, but after that I would actually not feed a child earlier than 6 months. I just don't think it's safe, and the research just, in my opinion, doesn't support it. But anyway, so I decided that I wasn't going to feed him till 12 months unless he showed a proper interest in food. And at the moment he still hasn't. He will Every now and then, kind of, he wants to touch what I'm eating and hold it, and he might like suck on it. But to this day, he has not swallowed anything. The only things he'll swallow, besides my breast milk, is cardboard and dirt and grass. So that's what comes out in his poo. But I'm quite, yeah, and so I believe that when he's closer to 1 year old, which is pretty soon, I know for sure that his gut will be ready 100%. So just in case there was a slight chance that it wasn't before then, it will be by 1 month, because their gut has to kind of close and heal and properly develop to be able to not develop any allergies and things like that to foods that they might eat. He has sucked on a strawberry, and he had a little bit of redness around his mouth, but I know strawberries with the acidity and the sweetness, they can kind of do that sometimes. So I don't think he had a reaction or anything to it, but he didn't eat it, he was just sucking on it. And he's grabbed bits and pieces of things that have been dropped on the floor. So he's had kind of a taste of things, but he hasn't actually eaten anything, which is fine with me. He's still very much a baby monster. And that takes me on to talking about his breastfeeding. So, as you know, he's not on any food, he doesn't want to eat any food, and so he's still exclusively breastfed. We still co-sleep, so he sleeps with me, or he sleeps in the middle of both of us. I used to have a rail on our bed because he kept falling out, and we have carpet and we have a very high bed, but it just, yeah, I couldn't keep him in my arms because he would roll. So yeah, we had a rail on bed, but now recently, over the last couple of weeks, he's actually figured out how to hop off the side of a ledge. And so he will turn himself around and hop off properly. So I've taken that off, and I'm hoping that nothing bad will happen. Although it was only on one side of the bed anyway. So he breastfeeds at night with me, and so he dream sleeps. Not a whole, he's kind of stopped, kind of pulled back on a lot of the night feeds he would have, but if he wakes up in the night, he needs to feed to go back to sleep. That's just his kind of, this is the way he works, the way he functions. So it's fine with me. If he feeds during the night, I don't know, because he sometimes will wake up and will want to feed. I don't want to be woken up by it, so I don't sleep at all, so that if he wakes up and needs to feed, he just latches himself and I do nothing, and I keep sleeping. As I've been hearing the last couple of nights, he's been kind of awake and fussing and annoying my husband, and I have apparently seemed very awake dealing with this situation, but I don't remember it at all. So I think I don't wake up, but apparently I still wake up enough to do stuff. But anyway, so he's still feeding. Night feeding, feeds fairly regularly throughout the day, between anywhere 2 to 3 hours in between each feed. Sometimes he snacks in between that time, other times he doesn't, and he'll just go play for quite a while by himself. He's started over the last over the last week, he started to have naps, like proper long naps, and just not little things. He's starting to finally sleep better without me during the day. So if he falls asleep and I can like take him down to bed, and usually I'm able to leave him, and he might sleep for half an hour to 45 minutes on his own. If he wakes up, sometimes I can go back in, get him back to sleep, and then leave for another half an hour. But it just kind of depends. He's still getting there, but he's getting better at sleeping on his own, which is great for me, because then I can get more stuff done around the house. And usually it happens that he sleeps at the same time that Walter is sleeping, so yay! So he's a pretty good sleeper. Always has been. Hasn't been that bad. He has times, but he's a baby. What baby doesn't? His hair is still pretty short. It hasn't seemed to really grow. Maybe it might have grown a little bit since like the last update I did. It's still pretty blonde, hasn't changed colour. And between the two boys, looking back at Walter's baby pictures, he hasn't changed like at all. But looking back at Arthur's baby pictures, Arthur has changed so much, and I think it has a lot to do with the fact that he was born with dark brown hair. And I'll actually show you. I have a picture. That was him. as a newborn. I don't know if you can see that very well. I was like 2-3 weeks old. So you can see he's asleep now. I might be able to take him to the bedroom and lay him down and feed him just a little bit to keep him, to settle him back down, and I could probably leave like half an hour. I might do that. It's a good idea. But anyway, that's the little update that I wanted to give you of Arthur. He's 10.5 months, and it's so scary and sad to kind of see how quickly he's growing, and like he's so close to turning 1, and it's really sad. He's my baby, and because I don't have more kids for quite a while, it's sad. I won't have my little squiggly bubbas anymore. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I certainly enjoyed talking about my little baby as I love him so much. Make sure you click like